I'm up, I'm out of bed. It's 8:15 on Monday morning and this is the week we're gonna start being productive again. I feel like we've had a 5-week holiday, frankly, and both of us are feeling useless. Oh, there's my alarm, I snoozed it. See, I got up before the second snooze. I'm quite proud of myself for that. I'm making myself a cup of tea and I'm going to get started for the day. I'm going to do some work on the vlog before getting Isabel up. I'm going to wake her up at 9, so not being too ferocious. And then we're going to start school at 10, hopefully. We have got a blood test today, so I completely forgot that when I was setting up the timetable yesterday, but I didn't bother amending the timetable. I just thought, oh, we'll just miss a chunk. It's fine. It's about 5 to 9 now. I've been working on my latest vlog and I've just gone to wake Isabel up. And I was just thinking to myself, I've been marvelling about the fact that me and Izzy have been getting on so well for the whole of the lockdown, given that there's just the two of us. We haven't really had an argument at all in this whole time. And it's just occurred to me why that is. No sticking to the timetable. Now I'm going to have to keep hurrying her along and to be ready to start at certain times. Now I reckon the friction will kick back in. Oh no, I was rather enjoying it the way it was. It's 13 minutes past 9. She's monosyllabic, but she's up. Well, it's about 10 past 10 and Izzy started maths on the dot, very keen to get on, and I've had my breakfast. I've sorted the vlog out for tonight and I'm having a bath. Oh, that would be lovely. Oh, look at the shadow. The sun's reflecting off a car window in the street. Woo! You can see our NHS display, the rainbow. That's the top of Zippy's head there, I think. I'm going to quickly put a wash on, but I've just realised we might be having a sandwich crisis. Rather depends if there's any bread. Oh, look, there's bread. Okay. I think we'll be all right. We've got such a long scoot to get to the hospital today. It's wedged. It went in soft and now it's turned into a rock. Right, there we are. As I was saying, we've got such a long scoot to the hospital today that we're going to have to take back lunch with us to eat just before we go in, I think. Izzy needs to have good blood sugar when she goes in for her blood test. It seems to affect the blood supply somehow. I've had the same thing happen to me in the past when I've gone in all jittery and low blood sugar and they haven't been able to get any blood out of me, and I've gone away, had a banana, and then they've succeeded then. So I try to feed her just before we go in, and it's not great in social distancing, but we find a patch of grass by the hospital and we'll sit down, eat a sandwich and then go in. So I shall schedule it like that. So we're going to leave about 11:30, which will give us loads of time to stop and have a drink on the way because it is such a long thirsty scoot. So we have 3/4 of an hour, which means if I quickly put a wash load on now, a quick 30-minute wash, well, 28 minutes, then I can hang that out before we go. I'm going for instant decaf today. Oh, the sacrilege. I've run out of the ground coffee, decaf, so it is what it is. I don't want to have caffeinated right before doing an hour and a half scoot and then an hour and a half back, because I don't want to have a wee, to put it bluntly, because going in the hospital toilets is a risk of getting the corona. If I have caffeine, I'm much more likely to need to go. This is an observation I've made over the years. Caffeine equals need a wee more urgently sooner. The decaf's okay. I should say it's not a whole hour and a half scoot to the hospital. It's about an hour, but we need to break it up with a snack and a drink in the middle somewhere. Well, I'm hoping I can use this foil for the sandwiches as well. Still stuck together. A knife. It's like a real life puzzle. It's coming. Yay! She's done her maths. Oh, well done, Izzy. Your hair looks very wavy.
It's because I haven't brushed it yet and it's always really wavy in the morning because I sleep with it in a plait.
Yeah, looks lovely, isn't it? Oh.
It's atrocious.
Well, thanks for doing the maths.
You've already marked this one, but I brought it down because you left it upstairs.
I think there was a couple missing. Did you read my notes?
Those are templates.
Did you read my notes that I made for you?
No. Did I do really badly?
No, you didn't. But there's a couple of things you didn't answer. And there was a very interesting answer to one of them.
Which one? Because it would be a giant graph.
Yes. There. I've made my sandwiches and wrapped it back up in the foil to save on the packaging. It's about 11:15 now. We're going to go in about 25 minutes. I'm not going to try and do any more school with Izzy between now and leaving. She wants to do her hair and get ready and all that teenagery stuff, even though we're only going to the hospital and we're not going to see anybody except a gowned and masked couple of nurses. But you know, when we get back and have had a little bit of a rest, we'll see what time it is. We'll look at what work there was to do today and we'll pick and choose which bits we've realistically got time to do, and we'll just leave the rest for today. Don't want to be over ambitious. We've been on the go, I don't know, 15 minutes or something like that. My leg is just starting to ache, so I'm just having a little walk to rest the leg muscles. Just the one leg, the other one's fine. If you're wondering, it's the leg that's on the scooter that gets achy, not the one that does the scooting. I think it's because it's in an eternal squat position. Well, not like a really extreme one, but a slight one. We're having a little rest. It's about, what time is it? 12:20. So we've still got 50 minutes till our appointment. We've made good time. We're having a little rest and a drink. Whew. It's a hot day. The sun's starting to go behind a cloud now. It's getting a little bit breezy. We need to get on, really. My poor leg. This one. Look at this idyllic scene. We've reached the hospital. Isabel's just said this is hitting the spot. Tinned tuna sandwiches on white frozen bread. Yeah, that'll do. We're out. Look, discarded mask on floor. We're back by our patch of lawn again. That was traumatic, wasn't it, Izzy?
Yeah.
They had a job getting that blood out today, didn't they?
Yeah.
How many times did you get stabbed? I lost count.
Technically 2, but they were like that, like with the needle inside of me, so that hurt a lot.
Yeah. They were apologising profusely, weren't they?
I did tell them where I normally get it, and they did listen to me, and that's where they ended up getting it out.
Yeah. You're the expert of your own veins.
Do I know where they are?
She's having a post-trauma wagon wheel now. Much needed. Oh, is that your special wagon wheel eating technique?
I like the biscuit on its own. And then I eat the marshmallow on its own. That's yummy.
Loads of dandelions. Would you like to blow it? It is a very beautiful time of year anyway. We're back home. It's about 2:20 now, so we were gone out for about 2.5 hours. My hands feel like they're tingling from being on these handlebars whilst going over really gritty, gravelly tarmac surface. It's like been for so long. It literally feels like there's tingly whizzes going on inside my hands, and I've given them a good wash as well. The wash was turning into a hand massage. My legs, once I got in, I was like taking a step and my leg was like suddenly bending because it's used to being in scooter position for so long. Well, I don't get out of breath on the scooter as long as it's flat, but it's excruciatingly painful on the one leg. After a while, I can do about half an hour and then I've got to have a break every few minutes. So I kind of worked out this weird scootering scout pace where you go scoot, 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 and then you stick your back foot, well, your other foot on the scooter, and you just sort of glide for a bit, for about 4 counts, and then another 4 scoots, another 4 counts, and it kind of makes it more sustainable to do for longer without having to stop and give your leg a rub. Anyway, I'm going to make a coffee now, and then we're going to move on and do some English, which is spelling, because we're just going to have to write off the biology for today because it just wasn't possible. Oh, there's nothing like a coffee when you've really earned it. We've just done half an hour on spelling. That's all today because we've got a shorter day because of the blood test. But this is what we've just focused on for half an hour. We've been having another look at words that get spelt incorrectly because of the consonants. Maybe they've not been doubled or they get doubled up when they shouldn't be. We've been also looking at different ways to learn lists of spelling words. This book is suggesting going and like harvesting spelling mistakes out of your old work that you've done, finding out which words you've had to have corrected by your teacher or your parent or whatever, and collect those up for your spelling words to learn, but don't have more than about 10 on the go at any one time because it gets a bit overwhelming. And then it talks about different things. It says if you make flashcards, it reckons if you write it in a bigger font than normal, it helps your brain to remember the spelling because it gets used to seeing it. And apparently there is some study that suggests that this is more effective. Don't know if it is. Think big. We are not going to go back and harvest Izzy's work, but what we will start to do is start to collect them up with any work she does from now, because if I go back and harvest through her old work and look at all her old spelling errors, the chances are she's moved on since then anyway and can spell them now, so I'm just going to go for the fresh ones. Isabel's going for lunch number 2, tinned ravioli.
Hungry.
So she's having a quick load of that. But,
I'm growing down.
well, I'll tell you what, if we do the Tudors at the table, you can sit and eat them while I'm reading to you.
Scrumdiddlyumptious.
2 birds, 1 stone and all that.
Yep.
We had a giggle at this little aid memoir. Find words within words is one of the strategies. Look, there is a bra in the library. Once Izzy's eyes started to glaze over with all the reading-y bits, we switched to the worksheet section because I could see she needed to be doing something doing-y. We went back over what we did the last time and had a closer look, and she'd missed quite a few of those, but she's found them now and she's written them out. We were asking Siri, how do you spell such and such, and she was learning it that way. Then we were looking at homophones that are not picked up by spell checkers and looking at some funny comical examples of those and finding the real versions. We went over there, and of course Isabel knows the theory, and out of the context of a story writing, she knows, of course, but they soon go out of the head once the creativity starts kicking in. And also, it's 2, 2 and 2. Again, she knows the theory, and in an exercise like this, it's absolutely no problem. But once pen is flowing on paper, the creativity of the story is flowing out of the brain. She's also eaten a whole bowl full of raisins as well while we were doing English.
I am growing.
Yes, you certainly are.
Well, you know I'm going to be 6'8".
What, feet?
Yeah.
Cool, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but I will grow eventually.
I've known 3 people who were 6'8". I can't remember who the third one was now. Oh yeah, I know, someone from college.
Is it me?
No, it wasn't you. I think I had 2 people in my university, and I knew somebody before that as well from Cardiff.
Wowee.
Went on his shoulders once. Got vertigo. The penny has just dropped that there's a very real possibility Izzy is actually going to have to sit her GCSEs, and she is not happy.
I just think it sucks because it's going to mean that I know I can do it if I put the work in, but because I'm going to put in so much work, it means it's going to take time away from doing what I love, like musical theatre, art and writing and that kind of thing. So I won't be able to improve as much as I could.
I know. It's the early evening now. We did a good half an hour on history, and this is what we looked at. We were looking at the repression of Catholicism in the 1500s. You see that? That's a priest hole, that is. Poor old priests used to have to be hidden away in priest holes. Here's an example of one here. That's his bed at the end, apparently. You had to get into that one by climbing down the hole of a 15th century toilet. And look at this poor old priest here. This is a drawing from 1584. Can you see what's happening to him? He's on a horrible torture device called the rack. There's a roller at each end there, and his wrists and ankles are tied to it. And what they would do is they would gradually roll the rollers further apart, and this was excruciatingly painful, and it would dislocate the victim's joints, you see. It was absolutely horrendous. But he didn't give in, and he did end up being executed, I believe. I'm going to go down in Flute Cave now and do some practice, because I am so behind with my practice. It's unbelievable. So I'm going to make a point this week of catching up in the early evening, such as this. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.